On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, Cincinnati's residential housing slump could be over at last. An inside look at where to buy for the best ROI. For the past 10 years, home values across the tri-state have struggled to get back to highs set before 2007 with the start of the Great Recession. But now the local market, for the most part, is finally back to pre-crash levels. Aside from being the majority of Americans' single largest asset, homes are a huge part of the economy. Beyond the actual sales, the housing market generates business across industries, from construction to insurance to appraisals to furniture. The latest numbers from real estate database firm Zillow show that 95 of the region's 100 zip codes are expected to see home value appreciation in the next 12 months. And the National Association of Realtors estimates one job is created for every 2 home sales. Business Courier reporter Tom Demeropoulos wrote this story and joins Business Watch producer Kelly Leon in the studio with more on what he learned.
Thanks, Allie. Tom, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
Really interesting article. So the headline is where to buy for the best ROI. So what's the answer?
Well, it depends. Yeah, we looked at data from Zillow, and they're showing this is information that looks at first-year home appreciation. So this is the time from you buy your home, 12 months later, what kind of appreciation are you expected to see? Their top neighborhood was the South Lebanon zip code. They break it out by zip code, which is kind of tough because zip codes can go over neighborhood boundaries. But number 1 was South Lebanon. Verona in northern Kentucky was number 2. We have a number of Cincinnati neighborhoods that were toward the top, such as Clifton, Columbia, Tusculum was up there.
Oh, yeah.
And then Terrace Park, one of our more higher-priced neighborhoods, also is expected to see a lot of appreciation in value.
So it's definitely a seller's market right now, right?
It is. It is definitely a seller's market. The way Rob Sibsey said is that you know, it's a great time to buy, or it's a great time to sell if you want to sell your house. But if you want to be a buyer, you've got to be on your toes. You've got to really be aggressive in finding what you want and making an offer quickly, and sometimes competitively priced, sometimes maybe even above asking price.
Yeah, I've heard that, just anecdotally. Now, you also talk in the story about the investment in the core and in downtown and over the Rhine, the whole, urban core. What impact does that have on home sales?
Yeah, so when you're talking with realtors, one of the things that we talked about was that there's a lot more demand for those kind of inner ring neighborhoods, Oakley and neighborhoods like that, where their home values have already appreciated. So they didn't rank as high in this Zillow information because they've already seen that kind of increase in appreciation. But that investment in over the Rhine and downtown has just really made it more important to people to be close to the core. They're more interested in being close to that part of town, so that's helped them in terms of their home values.
So are we just seeing this here in Cincinnati, or is this a national trend?
This is a national trend, but Cincinnati is faring pretty well when you look at the numbers nationally. So we are, as a city, as an MSA, we're about 0.6% below our peak values from April of 2007.
Okay.
Nationally, values are still down about 5%.
Oh, wow.
So we've bounced back better, but that's kind of typical of Cincinnati and Ohio.
Yeah.
Typically, we don't see kind of the boom that other areas of the country see, and we don't get hurt as bad in the bust.
So how much longer will this last? Any indication?
There's the tough question. I had a realtor tell me that if he could tell me that, he'd charge 17% instead of 3%. It's kind of hard to say. From speaking with real estate agents and with economists from Zillow, they expect the next 12 months to kind of continue to see this steady appreciation. Beyond that, they're expecting kind of more of the same. They don't really see anything on the horizon unless something changes massively with interest rates or kind of the larger economy. Expect kind of some more of this smooth, gradual growth.
All right, great. Great story, Tom. Thanks so much for being here.